What is up, everybody? It is your boy Pigskin Pete, fresh back from the Clemson spring game 2024 in Clemson, South Carolina. First of all, I would like to say that I had an amazing and fantastic day. Had a great time meeting up with some people that I meet up with every single year up here. It's usually the only time in the year I get to see these particular people, and every year is better than the last one. So shout out to all of them. Had a great time today. It was a beautiful day in the valley. Started out this morning about 34 degrees when I got to the tailgate spot at like 7:30 this morning. And by game time, it was over 60, not a cloud in the sky. It was absolutely beautiful. But let's talk about the game. Well, no, there wasn't a game today. Let's talk about the practice that we saw. And more than talking about the practice that we saw, we'll talk about the reaction that a lot of you idiots, you know who you are out there, have to watching the spring practice, because that's all it is. Every spring game in the country that's going to take place on any college campus for the next 3 or 4 weeks, it's not a game. They call it a game. It's a glorified practice that they let you watch in most cases for completely free. But some of you need to stay off of the message boards. I know Clemson has one that's prominent called TigerNet. As big of a Clemson fan as I am, I don't go on TigerNet. I haven't been on it in years. And this isn't a fake thing like I'm saying I don't watch the NFL, but I actually do watch the NFL because I comment on the NFL all the time. I don't go on TigerNet. And the reason is because the average IQ of everybody that posts on TigerNet is below 80. And if you don't believe me, go on TigerNet. I'm sure there's probably been a bunch of things posted about Pigskin Pete over the past 6 years since I've been doing a YouTube channel that is mostly based around college football and Clemson football. I'm sure they posted all kinds of shit about me over there over the years too, but I wouldn't know it because I'm not there. And you shouldn't be either. Anybody who takes anything out of watching a spring practice game other than the fact that you're watching a spring practice game, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. People making record predictions for the season after watching a spring game. People talking about certain matchups during the season, whether it's a week 1 against Georgia or anybody else on that schedule, based on a spring practice game. Look, I know it's the off season and there's not much to talk about, and you got to try to find something to talk about. But nobody takes you seriously. Well, I say nobody. I don't. I can't speak for the other morons out there. I don't take anybody seriously who makes projections on a football season based on a spring practice. Nobody. And I do have to remind people, because a lot of people are potato heads, that Clemson is playing against themselves. South Carolina, I don't know, is their game today or next week or whenever it is? They're playing against themselves. When Alabama plays their spring game, they're playing against themselves. So who's the winner and who's the loser when you're playing against yourself in practice? I did like what I saw today out of some of the young guys, especially Wesco at wide receiver. I think he's going to be good. Any of the quarterback play, it wasn't impressive, but the defense, it did impress me, which made it harder on the offense. So some of the best offensive players on the team, probably the best offensive player on the team, didn't play today. Phil Maffa, shout out to Phil Maffa. But we saw some good things and some bad things on each side of the ball, like you do every practice. So don't get too mad at me or Dabo or the football team because you saw something you didn't like. And on the other side of that, don't get too happy and elated about good things you saw, because we still got a long way to go before football season actually starts, outside of just practice. Go Tigers.